Alan, Hearts tomorrow. Just going to try and keep going with our good home form.
Yeah, we've done really well so far this season at home, and it's important that we keep that going for the rest of the season, but also to get 3 points and continue getting into a good position.
Brian Easton's trained the last 2 days, but I think we'll err on the side of caution with him because of a hamstring injury, and he won't return to the squad, but he should return to the squad against Partick Thistle. Steve McLean's still out, so it's very much the same squad to pick from the previous week. And that's probably a game that people look at and think that we should pick up 3 points, and that's the danger. I think we've got to make sure that we're not complacent. Hearts have had their troubles this year, but the one thing they've had is a lot of commitment. They've worked extremely hard for each other. They've been difficult to beat on many occasions. And we've got to be right from the start tomorrow. Make sure our attitude's right, make sure that our work rate's right, and if we do that, and I think that'll give us a platform to go and hopefully put in a similar type performance that we did last week against St Mirren.
Well, they're games where you're sort of expected to win, and just because of the situation that they're in. But they're tough games because they've nothing to lose. They work very hard for each other, and you have to give credit to them for that. That they do work very, very hard, and if we're not on our game tomorrow, then there's a good chance we'll not come out with a good result.
Gary and the players, it's not their fault that the situation has arisen. They've inherited it. They've had to get on and do the best they can. I think Gary comes in for quite recently. I think he's come in for unfair criticism from certain sections of of the media and that at times that I don't know what more he can do with a squad that he was left with. He couldn't add to it. We were all frantically trying to get players in, and we're in a healthy position in terms of our squad in the window, and he can't do anything. He is limited with the squad that he's got, but I still think that it's a good squad. He's got and he can put out a good strong 11, and there'll be difficult opponents.
It's not really for me to comment on it. We just have to look after ourselves here and make sure we have a good season, and don't really try and look at what goes on at other clubs and things like that. That's
obviously been the case. Our home form's been a lot better this season, than our away form. But we approach each game in the same way. We prepare, the same way, and you can't really put your finger on it why it is. But maybe teams come to us with a different approach, with maybe a bit of trepidation because of the fact that how well we've done at home, and they're a little bit in the back foot. So let's hope that home form continues tomorrow, because at the minute that's what's keeping us in around that top 6 spot.
I think last year maybe we were maybe a bit better away from home, and just one of them things. I don't know what it is. I think we've just played well. Maybe the size of the pitch and things like that. Maybe that suits us a bit, the way we play. Because we have had some really good performances here, so hopefully we can keep that going.
Well, it's no secret we're still looking at a striker. That's the main position that we need to cover. Because Steve McLean's end of February before he'll be back, and that's the one position. We have spoken to David Goodwillie. I just met Callum and myself met him and his agent for lunch one day, and the meeting was very positive. It was just a wee bit, for him to get to know us and what our plans were for him, and it was just talking basically football terms, and I thought the meeting went really well, and I do feel that if he does come to Scotland, that we have as good a chance as anybody to get him. But that's very much a wait and see process. But there are other strikers that we're talking to. We have lost out in one or two. We thought we had somebody signed, and then somebody else comes in for them at the last minute, or they change their mind and stay at the club that they're at. So we've had a few near misses, but we keep working hard and try and get somebody in, because I think at this time of the year, if you can bring a player in, it does lift the rest of the squad as well.
We just finished training, and we had a competition. There was Steve Banks and George, and a couple of younger keepers, Sam and Mark and myself, and we had a competition just to you're just throwing a stone with your bad hand to see how far you could get it, and who was the funniest, and Mark Hurst was definitely the funniest, and George got the least distance in his, so that's why we were laughing coming back over. I'm not too sure about Banksy though. I think he maybe threw it with his good hand, and it just looked like it was his bad hand, but he still didn't lose. So.